get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Believes Crypto Show, where we talk about all of this crazy crypto world and everything that's going on so that you guys have an idea, better understanding of what is going to happen next. So let's get into it. Let's break it down. First, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button. That's the biggest thing that helps me out tremendously. And we're going to throw this one out just because I think this is a better place for us to start every day. I want to say, I think that, a lot of us just kind of get that feeling like, it's nerve shattering. Like, are we going to miss the bull run? Are we in trouble? Is something bad going to happen? Are we going to get just screwed over? And the answer to that right now appears to be no. So the first thing we're going to do daily from now on, we're going to talk about this. We're at 100% hold mode in the bull market peak indicators. Now, as with any other metric and indicator, this will work until it doesn't work, with the important part being this. We see this. Institutions will also see this, which means that they will eventually, if not now, eventually start working against what we're doing. So what I mean by that is that, what we're going to see is we're going to start to see these multiples, this rainbow chart, all of these different indicators start to change in some way. And the whole idea here for institution is to trick you out of your money. That is the only goal, to trick you out of your money. So this is a moment where you're going to have to be very, very careful. Let's can we get your honest opinion on Rocky, WeSoul, and 5X? For those of you that don't know, Roger handles a lot of different cryptos, and in all of them, he's not really the main person. On WeSoul, he's an advisor. But this weekend, there was a launch called 5X. 5X lasted for a day, and now they're going to a new smart contract. At the same time, WeSoul is also going to a new smart contract. So there's a lot of similarities in a lot of this stuff, and none of them are pumping right now. And, some of that has to do with the market and how we're strategizing, how these launches go. And it's got to be said here, okay? 5X was launched with 5 Solana. Nobody who trades is going to trade for 5 Solana. If you consider the pairing and you consider that Solana is under it was about $180 during launch. So you're talking about a liquidity pool of like $800. And then immediately upon launch, you've got so many different bots that continue that start to buy. And then you see the price just sort of move a little bit. This is creating an ecosystem. And by the way, this ecosystem, despite the fact that it's Roger's only Blocky and Rocky and will be 5X on the launch of the new contract. Despite that, there's no one will know. There's WeSoul. There's a lot of different things that are in this ecosystem right now, and none of them are moving. They get little pumps and then they get massive dumps. And that, by the way, is a product of the market. That's the way that the market is right now. So ultimately, I think it's going to come down to how am I going to rank each and every one of these things in order to track them or something like that. My bet for the moment is going to be on Blocky and Rocky. All right. I think everything else is secondary to those two. So if I'm a buyer, if I'm looking for an entry position, those are the ones that I would get into. So, but again, I mean, listen, we're in an economy where people sidetrack at a moment's notice. New launches are the norm. Adding new cryptos, new tokens, new coin. That's just the nature of the beast at this point. So what I would say is hold on to your blocky, hold on to your rocky, and let's see what happens with those. And by the way, should be noted thing. Okay, this is a liquidity thing. So those are the ones that have the best shot. And we're not in the banana zone right now. I mean, if you guys were to look at the market, let's do this real quick, just to give you guys some clarity in this. This is the overall crypto market. And I'm going to put this on a daily so you can see it. Actually, you know what? Let's put it on a weekly. It's easier to look at this way. This is the crypto market right now. The crypto market is at an all-time high, 4 trillion market cap. So consider that. Now let's remove Bitcoin from the equation. We are no longer at an all-time high. And what that means is that Bitcoin is what is driving the market, or at least in part, Bitcoin has been driving the market. But now let's remove Ethereum. Do we look better or do we look worse? And we see that it's kind of at a tie, but we've had a little bit of movement. And really that's a testament to how weak Ethereum has been by comparison, okay? So Ethereum has not helped the case, but now let's remove Ethereum and let's look at total DeFi. And look how bad total DeFi is. In every previous iteration of this market, we've had these massive runs. So what does it mean to me? Well, that means to me, and by the way, one of the things that you will notice is from the previous top, that's where you end up in the next market, right? So if you consider that we're probably looking at, from this top up here, you're looking at about a 2 to 3x, right? Let's look at this from a DeFi standpoint, and what would it look like at a 2 to 3x from the previous top? And we were talking about, I think it's going to end up being about 600 billion market cap is where this ends up, and that means that we've got a huge, you know what, I didn't go far enough. Jesus Christ. We didn't go far enough when we're trying to estimate how that's going to play out. 200% from right there, about 600 billion market cap for DeFi. We're currently at 128. So we're talking about a 5x. Okay. Now, again, zooming around and looking at this one more time, the total 3 has been okay. Total 2 has not been as good as the total market cap. Bitcoin is clearly the dominant factor, but DeFi has struggled remarkably. Okay, just to give you guys some clarity here, what we all look for is that DeFi market. DeFi was as high as 200 billion market cap at the top of the last bull run. It's only at 128 billion today. And for 4 years now, everybody in DeFi has been telling you that DeFi is going to take over, right? What the is it going to take over? Because it's not taking over digital assets. So we haven't seen the run yet, okay? And what that means, going back to bringing this full circle, is that a lot of different things that you are looking for to have huge moves, they just haven't had that big move yet. They just have not. And look, there's a number of reasons for it. It's the low level of liquidity. It's the institutional investors coming in. They're driving up Bitcoin more than maybe it should, or maybe it's just the inevitable portion of it. But all the money that could be made or gets made out of there, that's coming from DeFi. And if you don't believe me, believe the chart. We're up $13 billion on the day. Bitcoin is up 0.6% on the day. XRP is up 0.7%. Ethereum's up 0.4%. But let's keep going. Solana's down 2%. Ondo's down 2%. Swee's down 3%. We're going just at large caps here. Arrow down 3%. Conflux down 5%. Fetch down 2%. HBAR down 2%. Aave down 2%. Cardano down 1%. Aptos down 1.5%. Arbitrum down 3%. Assemble down 3%. All-time Ether is down 5%. Going down the list, you're going to find all of your major altcoins, every one of them down today. The ones that are up, very few. But Lido, liquid staking. Why? Because Ethereum is pumping. Finally, think about how long it's been. since Ethereum pumped, by the way. And we're not even near the all-time high yet. We're about still 10%, I want to say, away from an all-time high from Ethereum. So it's not like Ethereum, even at this rate, is setting the world on fire. Now, the best you could say is, hey, if you bought at 1,400 back in March, you're up 3x right now. You're feeling really, really good. If you bought where Donald Trump Jr. told you to buy, you're up 10% versus 400%. But whatever. I mean, at least you're making some profit. And the important thing is we're finally up above this 4,000 that I told you we've got to break above that. So what we're seeing and what we're witnessing right now is another liquidity rotation. By the way, Bitcoin dominance is starting to spike again in the last couple of hours, not really for a long time. Like, see, last couple of hours, 2 days. Okay, so there is a reversal. And in order for us to have altcoin season, we've got to have more Bitcoin season. So, we're not in the cycle spot right now where something big is going to happen for alts. And I know a lot of you are looking for that. I'm looking for that too, but that is not where we are right now. Or at least, look, I don't know any reason. I don't have any reason to think that altcoin season is suddenly going to just absolutely break out. If we look at the way that it happened last time, the question right now is, did we get this moment? Did we get that absolute blow off? And we haven't had that. We haven't had that. And then go back and consider, just want you to consider this one thing. Those huge moves, those fantastic run-ups that Bitcoin has, they signal a lot of money being, a lot of profit being taken. Okay, that's what this downside means. We haven't seen that moment happen yet. We've seen spurts along the way. We've seen this little move here. We've seen this little move here. We've seen dominance starting to drive up. Dominance starting to drive up. The reason that dominance is starting to drive up is because people are leaving Ethereum, people are leaving Solana, people are leaving other risk-based assets, and they're fleeing into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the inevitable asset. That's what's going on. That's what you see on the chart. That's what's happening. Okay, there's no secret to this. Bitcoin has been matured as an asset. So now, what's next? Well, the next mature asset will end up being Ethereum, then XRP, then Solana. Beyond that, maybe Cardano, maybe some others. But the point to it all is that we need Bitcoin to have one more big run. Bitcoin has one more big run. Now we're full of liquidity. Now the cascade will start. Ethereum will then have its run. I'm pretty sure that when we hear that staking is approved for the Ethereum ETF, once the SEC says it's done, then we're going to see a massive rally on Ethereum, taking Ethereum up to, and I'm going to give you a top over here. It's not going to be the top that you want, but it's going to be 6,015. I don't know that it goes higher than that. I would like to see it go higher than that. It would make sense that it goes higher than that. And I'm not bearish on Ethereum at all. But, I was giving you 12,000 numbers at one point. I just don't see it anymore. The amount of adoption, none of it really resonates at this point that we're going to go above 6,000. So I have concerns, but what I would like to see is a move up in here into 8,000 or 9,000. Okay. Now, a lot of smart people I've been watching in the last couple of weeks are agreeing with me that somewhere near 6,000 is probably going to be the Ethereum top. And that's going to suck, by the way. It's going to suck because we had a lot of hopes and dreams on that. But the other thing is, maybe, just maybe, we've broken the cycle and that 4-year Bitcoin cycle is not going to be like we remember it. Maybe, just maybe, the fact that Bitcoin takes off and then Ethereum is taking off along with it, maybe there's going to be a synergistic moment where it changes and, maybe these assets will quote unquote mature sort of at a different range. And then we'll see XRP do the same. And then maybe they carry each other to a much bolder and higher cap. But here's the problem. The problem is for all of the money that goes from Bitcoin that goes into Ethereum, all the money that goes into Ethereum will come back out and go down to other assets. But one of those other assets is going to be XRP. And one of those other assets, because of the market cap now, is going to be Solana. And we are in a spot here where it's confusing, if nothing else. So anyway, I digress. I think we're in trouble. I think we're in trouble in altcoins for a little while. I think we're going to see some more flight in the next bunch of days. We will get a blow off, and everything about to sum this all the way back up is it's all about altcoin season. It's all about meme coin season. It's all about getting back to that area and getting the nice 10x's or 15x's or 20x's that we're going to get on every single crypto. Some of it, by the way, you're just going to make your money back because you're down 80 or 90% because you bought a top on something. You know, some of that's just going to be the nature of it. And hopefully along the way, we've learned a lot about meme coins so that we don't do that shit again. And I'll be honest with you guys. We did this on, what was it? Saturday morning. And on Saturday morning, that 5X was going to launch. That was going to launch at a specific time. I woke up, I got ready, and it had already launched. So, and by the way, not only had it launched, it was up 20X. It's a story for a different time. So, needless to say, Saturday morning, I was a little bit annoyed. I was a little bit annoyed. I had an expectation. I had a time frame. I had everything I had everything there. And then instead, what I got was something entirely different. So again, I'm going to wait until we get into altcoin or meme coin season to make any kind of determination on what it is, because what are we building? In all of these meme coins, what are we building? What are we doing that provides and gives you value? Now, there are things that provide and give you value, but everything else is just a risk asset. And if it's a risk asset, then you got to be asking yourself, like, why am I staying in it forever? And of course, if you're a developer, you rely on people staying in it forever because that's your liquidity and stuff like that. And you want bigger communities. And also, I want to say this. Look at the communities. Are the communities being taken care of? Are the communities being massaged? Are the communities being treated the right way? Are the communities being given an opportunity to grow? Are they being managed in the right way? There's a lot to this. So make your own determination on all of that. From time to time, I'm going to get promos. I'm going to get people who bring me some. Matter of fact, I got one today that I think is going to be hilarious. It's called Sex Coin, SEX Coin. And it was launched by the Fartcoin developer, or one of the Fartcoin developers. And as of today, it's going to be a CTO, or in 2 days, it's going to be a CTO, and they're going to do a bunch of new stuff with it. So, maybe it's going to pump, but you guys will see it. I'm hilarious. So you're going to, trust me, you're going to like the way you laugh or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so back to the beginning of this, because I'm taking way too long just to do one simple thing today. The CC coin is giving great value. Matter of fact, it should be noted that it does give you value in that you earn Solana and that you earn CC coin, but it has to get the attention of the market. And that comes down to community. And it is my opinion, CC coin is one of my favorite communities. However, it's got to build on that community. It needs 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 50 people who are working diligently, not just to say, hey, we've got a meme coin, but going all over X, going everywhere and letting people know the CC coin is out there. Because if you're not attracting new people and you're not creating a cult vibe, then as a meme coin, you don't really grow. So it will need to find more new investors. It will need to find more people interested in doing that. Like, for example, and I like this might sound weird to you guys, but a lot of this stuff is about a cult narrative. Okay. That's what meme coins are. Cult narrative. In order for there to be a cult narrative that we need, then you need people who are in those cults. Like, for example, Crypto Messiah. If you guys remember him from the last bull run, he made a bunch of money off SHIB. I want to say he made like $60 million or $30 million. Like, he made a whole bunch of money off of SHIB. And then he parlayed that into just meme coin after meme coin after meme coin after meme coin on the way up, and made more and more and more and more and more. And that's what happens in meme coin season. So he made out. But he also created a community along the way. And that community would be great to get in. Now, the problem is, well, once he did that, he started to become a promo guy, and every crypto was the next big thing. I do it too, by the way. I'm not saying that I'm any different. just to be clear. But what happens after that is, people start to lose faith because guess what? All I'm doing is talking about things that are dumping. Like it doesn't help my credibility when something like that happens. When you get a 5X and I say, hey, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Let's see what happens. And then, I bought $50 worth. It's now worth $10. And they're launching a V2 and they're trading everything over. Like that is not a sign of confidence. So when things like that happen for an influencer like myself or like Crypto Messiah or anybody like that, then it hurts the community. And that's the important part. That's the part that matters to me is you guys, the community. So, but we need people like Crypto Messiah to build the community. We need people like Faltron to build the community. Kelbell to build the community. We need people who are out here who get into these meme coins. We need CVG, Crypto Volt Girl. We need Tony Montana. We need people that are on Twitter and X and they have communities and they get into these different cryptos and stuff like that. That's how you do it. That's how you grow. So, hopefully we're going to see some kind of move into those sort of realms to increase value for things like the CCC ecosystem. That's what needs to happen. So, by the way, since we're already there, let's go talk about, by the way, my whole setup has been changing over the last couple of days. I'm trying to get everything right. And my brain is apparently like, I don't know. I just doing my most goodest, I guess, is what the kids say these days. Shucky darns or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, go get yourself some CC coin because like I said, as this community grows, as new people get onboarded, and as CC grows her influence in the space, as I grow my influence in the space, as Tom Crown grows his influence in the space, as J Change grows his influence in the space, as Annabelle increases her influence in the space. And by the way, let's go look at what Annabelle is doing because this is like good morning stuff. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, there we go. We've got this young lady here, Annabelle. Say good morning to her. And she's part of the Blockchain Beauties family, along with there's Lena, part of the Blockchain Beauties family. These people are going to grow their presence, and more followers means more attention. More attention means more and more and more and more and more along the way. So, all these people are going to get more value for you in that bull run. So that's the group that will build. That's your cult vibe. That's the mentality right there that we're going to have. So get yourself some CC coin, get yourself some blockchain beauty, get yourself some bud too, get yourself some CC cash, get yourself some CCR, and see what happens. I don't bet the farm on anything. I have thousands of dollars worth of CC coins and bud too and stuff like that. I have a bunch in it. But it's not my biggest bag. It's small. It's grown, by the way. I should be very clear about it. It's not because I didn't buy a bunch. You know what I mean? Like I got a little bit down here. It's just grown over time. So, it's only worth a couple $1,000s now because it's had a nice time, a nice run off of it. You know what I mean? Like you put in $300 right here, and then next thing you know, you're up 8x, and now it's worth $2,500. At one point, it was way higher. You know what I mean? Like at one point it was 24x. So, or something like that. But the point is, there's a long way to go. I'm sorry. I said 24x, 10x. My bad. But there's a lot of potential that each one of these has. And if you make a determination at this point, because you don't listen to me, and what do I tell you to do? Everything that you do, every profit that you make should go into Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin constantly is pumping. So what you're doing by going out and buying new meme coins, looking for the next 100 million, billion, jillion, thousand X or whatever it is that you're looking for, is not doing you any service. And then you get jaded. And then you say wild shit like, you need to lose all your friends. Doesn't make any sense. Again, if you're in the meme coin business, then you have a meme coin blow off, and that's going to be about it. You might get a pump out of it. You should take profit on it like everybody else is doing, but you should be focused on making your money. It's simple. To me, it's simple. You complicate it by needing to be stimulated. You need to have a nice big pump. You need to see the money. You need to, oh man, I got to have a bunch of it. And, look, I mean, if you had done this, look, here's what I'm saying. If you had bought this, got yourself a nice little, let's just say 8X, which is where we are about right now. But if you got yourself a nice little 8X and you took the profit on it and then it came back down, guess what? Now you can buy more right here. You can buy more right here and you can see it back up one more time and you can make the money again. People are trading on the charts all day long. They're not buying tops and saying, oh, it's going to pump. And then they're hoping. They're actually being shrewd and they're making micro transactions. And every time there's a little pump, they take their profit along the way. And by the way, these guys are doing it with $50 and they're DCAing their ways. Okay. So they're putting in $20 just to see what happens. And if it goes up to $30, they're taking their $10 out. So they still got 20 in, and then they're making another decision about that $20 that's remaining. If it dips back down, they're going to buy more. They're going to add $30 back into the bag on a dip. And then when it pumps back up and it's worth 45, now they're taking that back out and they still got their $20. You know what I mean? Like they're doing it all day long. You watch the charts and you see it happening all day long. These guys are traders that are trading meme coins. And they know what they're doing, and they're not pie in the skying things for, I'm just going to buy this big bag and hope for 100,000X. And why it didn't happen in a bearish market when we're not pumping is beyond me. It must be the developer, big things happening and shit like that. I mean, if you fall for it, that's on you. That's not on me. Although I am a hype person, so maybe it is on me just a little bit. What the fuck? Whatever. Anyway, no bull market indicators. Sign up for Believes Crypto today. Otherwise, you might die of wiener cancer. You never know. You never know. Is there a likelihood of it? It's not zero. It's not zero. So be safe out there. Sign up to Believes Crypto today and become a member, and you might get wrecked like I did this weekend. So you never know. Anyway, so Lido up 14%. Pump up 18.5%, actually having a revival. Crow up 5%, Pi up 4%. And that's about the extent of it in the top 100s. Arrow down pretty big today. Zora and White up 45 and 31% respectively. Zero, I don't know what this one is. It's going to be Layer Zero up 23%. STG up 14.5%. XNY up 48%. Why can I not get this? Why can I not get this from Devi? Why is it that every time I'm looking at some other project, but I still have the Devi team telling me everything's going to be just amazing? Polyhedra Network down 24% on the day. Ouch. Tag, which is Tagger, up 14.5%. Fun up 20%. Cult down 15%. Not a great sign when your cult is dumping. Launchcoin down 12%. Banana down 9%. Tokabu up 95%. Uranus, not my anus, Uranus, down 26.5% today. DSO up 27. ZND up 24. This is what it looks like when you're getting breakouts, by the way. This is when you see a bunch of these, that's when you know that altcoin season is not there, but it's getting closer and closer and closer. Ride 54. What it means is that some of that money that pumped last night, when Bitcoin went to 120, almost 122,000, is coming down into risk assets, and people are trying to find things that they like based on a good narrative and based on information that's coming out that makes people think maybe it's going to pump. Devi, no. Devi was at 56 cents a little while ago and is back down to 50 cents now. For the day, it's down 1.5%. For the month, it's up 18%, and for the year, up 164%. So I'm still not mad at it. I'm still not mad, but I would like to see more. I think that at this point, it's time for something to happen. So Fear and Greed Index is at 70, and we're going to skip Devi today. Oh, some really crazy shit happening over here. I think it's time we need to talk about this real quick so you guys understand what's going on. I am real concerned about what's happening here. If you haven't already, sign up for Terra Casino. I think tomorrow we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a live stream. We're going to give away $50 to everybody who signs up on Terra Casino. So make sure you have your username ready and present it tomorrow because we're going to do a giveaway. Also, Terraport.finance for all your crypto needs for Terra Luna Classic and all the utility coins and meme coins that they have. Now, here's what's going on. This is the validator list right now. $100 billion got staked today. If you look at the staking ratio, if you look at total staked right there, this went from 862 to 962. So somebody staked $100 billion. So now you got to figure out, where did that come from? And it turns out it went to AutoStake. AutoStake has 1,900 followers on Twitter. They are like a nobody when it comes down to it. They're just an auto staking situation, and they're about to beat all nodes. Now, here's the problem. Problem is AutoStake, for governance, they've never voted for anything. So I don't know what's going on at first. Then I go back and I start looking, and look, their fee is only 3%. And their APR is now 6.99%. So you are being incentivized dramatically to stake with AutoStake. So I'm not sure what that means. I am a little bit nervous about it when I look at it, not because I think there's any kind of damage to it or anything like that, just that I don't know enough about that staking company to feel confident, because they're not even voting. Like, the other thing is, maybe if they're not going to vote, maybe that's just taking some of the major like money and stuff out of the equation, and we can just kind of build. Look, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Here's what I'm going to say. What we've been doing so far with Happy Caddy Crypto and all those people who don't want any kind of centralization, we are the worst performing asset in crypto because of their leadership or lack thereof. And if you don't like that, point to the all I ever ask for a Luna Classic member who disagrees with me that people like Happy Caddy Crypto and Interstellar Lounge and all those places are bad for Terra Luna Classic, show me on the chart where I'm wrong. There you go. That's all I'm ever asking. Also, we got Roger in the house right now talking about it. So 5X is going to be launching under a new ticker. If you want to go into the Telegram, go in there for the details. And for those of you who are private members, that information is in the private chat. So go check it out there. And then pull that up, look at 5X, which I don't know if I have it on here. Now I think about it and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. God damn it. That was a long way. All right. So I need the link. I need the link for, post the link to the Telegram in the chat, Roger. Maybe you can't. God damn it. Hold on. All right, so there it is, and there it is. All right, so if you're interested, Solana 5X is the Telegram. And I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. I'm actually reading a note right here. Okay, so there will be a name change. It looks like they're gonna be try to redoing it. Yeah, there we go. So they're going to relaunch under a new concept and a new name. There was a reason, and one of the reasons was it looks like a contract got sniped by a bot, and they got 3 Solana on that launch. Somebody, when the launch happened, like I said, there's bots that buy all the time, and one of these bots bought like $500 at once. And once they bought $500 worth of tokens, like on the launch, it's like $576. Matter of fact, holy shit, you know what? I just realized I can like scroll down here and show you guys exactly what happened. Boom, 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 boom. The good thing about the blockchain is it never, ever, ever stops. So you can definitely go down and check it out. So here it was on the launch where the liquidity and everything was added, right? Then you had this, it wasn't, okay, it was 233, my bad. It was 233 and then 125. These buyers right here, those big buyers. And by the way, when you look at what was going on here, like we were going to be in here for, you know, just a couple bucks. You know what I mean? Like we were going to try to get in early enough that we, you know, a couple bucks. But this person puts in and buys 25% of the supply. So, you know what I mean? Hold on. We got Selmo Fudd in here getting ready to get wrecked. My number for 2025 was actually 170,000. And we're going to hit 170,000. Like, are you not paying attention? Are you not watching the charts? Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. You're the guy that told me that. Oh, yeah. I remember. Selmo. Oh, man. Selmo. Man, I'm a dog walk. You know what? If Chicago's playing Cleveland this year, I'm gonna come to Cleveland just so I can take you to a game and dog walk you, just like Chicago is gonna dog walk Cleveland. And that lesbian that you've got playing quarterback, Shady Sanders, whatever his fucking name is. You know what I mean? The guy with the 13-12 record who had his jersey retired because his claim to fame was he lost a bowl game. And that's your number one pick? Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Anyway, so the idea was not that, and then that person was able to scalp out a lot of Solana early on. So that really kind of crippled what the team was planning. So they decided they were going to leave. Roger saw an opportunity here, and he said, I'll take this thing over. So instead of doing the same contract that wasn't working in the beginning, they're going to refashion it into a better contract. So that's what's going on with 5X, and hopefully we'll see a nice little run out of it. So but we got to speed along now because I'm running out of market here. Definity, guys. Definity, you guys remember we talked about this before. I'm up 20% right now on my Definity holding. So if you, like me, got in the beginning where I said, I think there's going to be something to this. If you made that move, then guess what? You're up 20% as well. Now, with that being the case, let's talk about what is Definity. Definity is your RWA Forex master here. This allows you to trade Forex in DeFi, and you can make a lot of money, and you don't have this is not crypto by itself. Crypto in itself is the Definity, the DEFX token, which is where the value of this will end up being seen. But the market here is for you to be able to trade all of your favorite currencies. So UAE, Canadian, Great British pounds, the Japanese yen, New Zealand dollar, I want to say it's called, the Australian dollar, German, Czechoslovakian. There was even somewhere there was a Hong Kong dollar. I don't know. Whatever the currencies are, you can trade them on the Definity markets. So what does that do? Creates opportunity for you. And what does that mean when I talk about that? What's RWA, which is real world asset? And that's what money is a real world asset. And this allows you to trade it in a tokenized fashion with almost instantaneous settlement, trade matching and settlement, fiat on and off ramp. Ernst & Young is a fintech partner. Just consider that for a second. Ernst & Young, very large company in the United States. This is going to give you the on-road that you need in order to start trading with the pros. The cryptos that are accepted: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, USDT, and USDC. Deliverable with time plus 0, which means instantaneous settlement across 38 base currencies. So you want to trade money and earn, trade bricks for US dollar or trade the yen versus the US dollar. You want to do these arbitrage opportunities. This is the place to do it when you tokenize it. And at some point, a major institution other than Ernst & Young is going to pop in here. And the next thing you know, this thing is going to have liftoff. And when it has liftoff, it's going to go absolutely crazy. And it looks like the market is starting to pump here. We're going to have to go back to this. Bitcoin. Yeah, we're having a nice little surge here for Bitcoin right now. It's up to 120,300. So maybe they heard Selmo in here talking shit. They saw him in here talking shit, and they're like, you know what? Let's just do it to 170 right now, just to just to be the Caleb Williams of this thing. You got Caleb Williams with the Bears, and he is openly gay, I hear. That doesn't actually bother me. I don't care if he is or is not. Here's what I care about. He wasn't fucking 13 and 12 and got his jersey retired for losing every bowl game he's ever played in. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a 500 quarterback that never won anything. You know what I mean? And he got his jersey retired because his dad is the coach. What the fuck? Travis Hunter's the only person should have had his jersey retired. And by the way, I don't even think that should have happened, because he's also 13 and 12. Didn't do shit. You know what I mean? Absolutely insane. Shadur Shady, what the fuck ever his name is. Oh my God. Can't believe grown men retired a mid-player's jersey. That's unbelievable. Anyway, 4.2 billion in transactions on Ethereum, 2.87 billion in Solana. By the way, with Solana, a little bit of an increase over the last little while. Up 10% for the week, 15% on Ethereum for the week. So the volume is starting to come back. Base is picking up steam. It's about to pass BSC, which is down to 1.68. So, we're starting to see that move. And when we see Solana move and Ethereum move in volume, guess what? The Ethereum and Solana move in price action. So we're seeing that happen. On the inflows right here, we got to get through this. 400 million on Friday for the spot Bitcoin. And then for Ethereum on Friday, 461 million. Guys, do you see where we're headed? It's continuing. We are almost 9.85 billion. We are almost at 10 billion. And guys, when it goes to 10 billion, it's going to go to 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 billion, just like that. Like, it is going to start getting bananas on Ethereum very, very, very soon. You know what I mean? Prime time makes it happen. Prime time is 13 and 12. What does he make happen? 500 football? Yeah. 13 and 12. And by the way, wait, whoa. No bowl win. None. Anyway, wild, just absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, I guess you can't play cornerback when you're coach. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Holy shit. All right. So, in closing, let's check this out. There we go. All right. So we're finally at the spot where Ethereum, which we've been waiting for, has outstripped Bitcoin just barely in year-to-date pump. So we're actually starting to see some better movement. Now, zoom out here, and we still got problems. Solana is still down 5%. Dogecoin still down 27%. By the way, Dogecoin down 27%. I think that makes it a good buy. I also think that Solana down 5% makes it a good buy. And Cardano, that's a stable coin, so don't buy that. Jesus fucking Christ. I did tell you guys that I thought Tron was going to be a big mover, and it's up 35% for the year. Hyperliquid up 87% for the year. Stellar up 34% on the year. Bitcoin Cash up 36% on the year. But SWI down, Hedera down, Avalanche down big. By the way, I got a feeling that Avalanche is about to have a moment. I got a feeling that $24 is a real interesting price point for Avalanche. I look at this. So this is the chart right here. This chart, to me, to be fair, like to be very fair, this chart to me looks like one of those absolute breakout candidates. Avalanche has a lot of trade volume. Avalanche has a lot of people trading on it. It has a lot going for it. It has a lot of partnerships. It has a lot of everything, but it hasn't taken off yet. And guys, I feel like this is going to be an all-time high move. Like, we're talking about $147 from $24 right now. I got a feeling that we're going to see a massive move coming up real soon. Now, the pivot to this is going to be $50 right there. As you can see this, we use it as support, resistance, resistance. So I do think that there's going to be a nice move, bang, right up here. So I would get yourself a bag of Avalanche if you're so inclined to put some risk in your game. Looking at what's going on here, looking at the opportunity, I would go for it. Also, Toncoin, same thing. Shiba Inu, not so much. Uniswap, not so much. Polkadot, not at all. I don't have confidence in Polkadot right now. BitGet, I think BitGet really just, it's just it's an exchange token. So I don't know that that's got, I don't know that that's got any smoke to it. Pepe down 41% to me seems like a good win. Remember, the big narratives are going to continue to be the narratives when the market flips. So it would be my estimation that Pepe probably going to benefit greatly from when the market really absolutely takes off. But guys, my one token that I'm telling you guys right now that's going to fly, official Trump, 1.8 billion market cap. You guys know, I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not a supporter. I'm not a believer. However, I just want to tell you that if this thing could go up into on just a FOMO rally, what is that? 9 billion market cap. If it can go up to a 9 billion market cap, it can go to 100 billion market cap. All right. That money is going to come out of Doge, going to come out of SHIB. It's going to go into the Trump meme coin. At some point, it is inevitable. My belief is that the official Trump meme coin is going to be the first one to 100 billion market cap. The first crypto to 100 billion market cap. Okay. Or the first meme coin. I'm sorry. So I would be watching out for this one to go just nuts. Trump meme coin going to go just absolutely out of control. So if you got a little extra capital on hand, I think that's a great one to have. I think it's a really, there's a lot of money right there. So if you haven't already, get yourself a bag of Trump. As far as the rest of it goes, get yourself whatever it is, ape responsibly. But everything that you do should be designed to get into Bitcoin. Also, I want to do a trading show. I haven't been doing a trading show. I started it and then I stalled, then I stalled, then I started, then I stalled, then I started, then I stalled. So now I think we're going to start doing it every day. I'm working on this. I'm working on this. Just trying to fit it into a schedule, which is very light to begin with. Thanks, Obama. It's really Trump, but thanks, Obama. But trying to fit in something new here to expand the brand, if you will. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. So anyway, for now, that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in.
I'm looking for the good life, good life.